These aren't conspiracies, these are receipts, and they're bloody as hell. An Israeli army investigation suggests many October 7th casualties were caused by friendly fire, and the findings of the Israeli report are consistent with the results of a United Nations inquiry. It's important to understand that the Israelis operate under Hannibal Directive. This controversial procedure used by the IDF, according to one version, the kidnapping must be stopped by all means, even at the price of striking and harming our own forces, meaning they don't give a fuck about how many of their own people they unalive. Israel initially reported 1,400 unalivings, but later revised it down to 12, then to around 1,100. Out of those 1,100, it is important to note that 700 of those were 700 Israeli regular citizens, and about 307 of them were security forces, whether IDF, police officers, or any other type of agent. Out of the 695 civilians that were unalived, it is unclear on how many were caused due to the Hannibal Directive. Most Israeli investigations remain internal and many details are undisclosed. Emergency policies like Hannibal Directive overlap between intentional and accidental casualties. However, the United Nations International Commission of Inquiry, the COI, concluded that up to 14 Israeli civilians were likely intentionally unalived by Israeli forces when they applied the so-called Hannibal Directive. The Kisufim Kibbutz report documents Israeli troops unintentionally shooting their own civilians, including the death of Israeli civilian Tom Gudo, who was unalived after soldiers misidentified a neighbor's home as hostile. Some other civilians and Thai workers were also unalived in this event. Perfect example on how Israeli troops use the Hannibal Directive and then call it unintentional. They don't give a fuck. The United Nations Human Rights Council, under the COI, is prosecuting Israeli authorities for war crimes. On June 12th of 2024, Israeli authorities are responsible for war crimes against humanity committed during the military operations and attacks in Gaza since October 7th. And since then, over 61,000 Palestinians have been unalived, most of them being women and children. Comment down below what you think. Free Palestine.